It's so irresponsible. Oh my god. You're a victim, all right. We concede you're a complete victim because you're a parent.
And then on the left, you have Hasan, who's supporting terrorists, lying to a massive audience. Holy bro. And in between, we are all
we are. Let's have some goofs.
That's it. That's all I have for goofs. It could just get serious from here.
I know. You should... I don't know. Ethan should watch more videos. He watched the content cop because it was like a 6 million view video and he had to. But is he watching other people's videos about him? Only the people who he thinks he can dunk on. Like random TikTokers.
I don't want to like even allude to who it is, so I'm not going to say anything. But basically, when she met him for work-related something, completely like not an online person, she was like, "Oh yeah, he made like my how do you say it when your back is like
her hair stood up."
Yeah. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "You know that like toxic masculinity kind of guy."
Hasan is a racist. We must cancel him.
Yeah, he tries to hide it, but.
And I thought that was so funny.
He tries to hide his toxic masculinity. That's so funny. That's so funny in the context of people literally making careers off of like just being a misogynist online. And Ethan's like, Hasan tries to hide his misogyny online so that he can grift to the left. When literally like the most famous internet personality to come out of the last year and a half, or maybe 2 or 3 years, is Andrew Tate, who was an out and about misogynist grifting on young men. And then he had like a bunch of people copying him, trying to grift to young men, being like, women are. Ethan's like, Hasan's hiding his misogyny to grift to the left. Also, this just shows how empty their arguments against Hasan are. When they're like, no, we're not going to just talk about what he believes, but we're also going to smear him as a misogynist because my one friend, who I'm not going to say her name of, talked to Hasan and then the hair stood up on the back of her neck like she was in the presence of some kind of demon because of his aura of toxic masculinity just radiating off of him. What the fuck are they on about?
Because it's like, that is not a person that is online or knows anything about him.
Yeah, the vibes are insanely bad. I never thought about it, honestly, but looking at everything, I mean, what did he say about Hannah Montana?
Oh my god, dude, you're actually so stupid. Ethan has a podcast with this mother for like 2.5 years or something like that. And then he's willing to sit here like after a year and a half of not having a podcast with him and being like, Hasan's vibes are so insanely off. It's like you get into the room with him and it's just like a frozen like corpse with the chills coming off of him, and it just makes everyone all weirded out. What did he say about Hannah Montana again? In the video where he explicitly told me he was doing a parody of Steven Crowder and a parody of the people that are actually misogynistic, he's actually brain broken, dude. You guys got it wrong. She just wanted us to think she has friends. This is the funniest thing to me, where Ethan will take videos that Hasan's like, yeah, is doing a parody, but a lot of people took it literally. That's why I don't want to talk about it. That's why I tried to delete the videos. And Ethan's like, okay. Then he just turns around and is like, Hasan's a misogynist. Look at this video. This is actually real. Literally, Hasan told you, I don't want to talk about these videos because people think they're real, but it's a parody that I was trying to do that I don't think I did that successfully. And then he's like, it's real. Like what the like literally a cartoon moment there.
I always knew Hannah Montana was a little. Don't even try to hide it.
You don't have to. Did he bleep it or did we bleep it?
It was in what we pulled it from.
Oh, we should try to complete the sound. He says, obviously.
Don't even try to hide it.
Oh. Play it again one more time.
There's a in there that's not in there.
Play it one more time so the people at home are just sure what he said.
I always knew Hannah Montana was a little. Don't even.
Oh, a little effing. Got it.
Oh, so it's even worse.
So you could probably just cut out the.
I can add him.
I mean, this is literally from Ethan, where he's like, Denims is a dumb, and then he fantasizes about how she's going to die childless because she would be a mean girlfriend, so she's never going to have any children. Like, unhinged. This is Ethan from the guy who literally got called out by his staff for calling a woman a, and then he's like, well, let's poll the women and see what they think about it. They're like, yeah, I don't like that. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I won't say it on air. So who's the misogynist off air that tries to not be a misogynist on air. When you are literally like, I'm not going to say that anymore because the women don't like it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I tried to do live, but I'll correct it.
Yeah, you're good. So this part to me in the debate stood out as the most blackpilling, maddening, insane moment. The ADL part, which I'll play for you guys quickly here. By the way, the views are crazy, 1.6 million already. So I'm glad people watched it, and I hope.
Yeah.
I think the most amount. Asmin Gold's reaction is about to have more views. Whatever. I'm glad people are watching it because I think if you actually watch it and you're not completely captured. And by the way, the criticism I'm getting online is that I'm on drugs.
I always thought Ethan was tweaking. I didn't know he had that shit.
So on me for having Tourette syndrome, a intrinsic attribute of who I am. I have no control over it. And the other thing is taking me just saying fucking Arabs in the totality of this huge conversation in which Hasan was denying Jewish suffering and persecution in the Middle East.
Ethan, show me the clip where Hasan denied Jewish suffering in the Middle East. Also, I love how it's no problem when Ethan takes a clip of Hasan. Like, let's go back to the Sam Cedar part where he's like, Hasan said that people who thought fondly of Israel or people who think highly of Israel aren't fit to be the local dog catcher. And then Sam's like, well, I mean, it's one clip. He used hyperbole, but I understand what he's saying. And Ethan's like, well, it's not just one misspeak, Sam. It's the result of his entire content output. And Sam's like, okay, well, you showed me that one clip. So, and you're trying to say off of that one clip, he's a bad person. And now people are clipping Ethan and he's like, well, you just looked at one clip. You can't just say that I'm a racist off of one clip. And it's like, then you watch his entire channel and you're like, oh no, his entire output is that he's a racist against Arabs too. So yeah, saying that, oh, just look at my entire output. Look at the part where I was attacking Hamas for not building enough bomb shelters to save Palestinians. Look at that part too. Look at the part where I was saying that if Hamas released all of the hostages, then Israel would stop the. Look at that part too. It's like, no, dude. If you look at the entirety of your content output, that makes you look even worse. You should be happy that people are hyper-focusing on that clip because you can defend it by saying, oh, I was just taken out of context. And actually, Hasan's the real bad person for denying the suffering of Jews. Once again, it's a whataboutism. Saying Hasan, like, even though this isn't true, Ethan's trying to say, oh, well, Hasan is denying the suffering of Arab Jews. Okay, well, you're being racist by saying all Arabs are to blame for inflicting that suffering. So once again, according to you, you can keep two bad things in mind at once. But no, apparently Hasan's denying of the suffering of Arab Jews completely washes out your racism. And that's just not true. It turns out that people care more about your racism than your false hallucination that Hasan ever said that Arabs or he ever said that Arab Jews didn't get persecuted.
And I'm saying the Arabs are the ones that kicked them out. And they're like, oh, the Arabs? Like, what else am I supposed to say? It's the Arab nations. It's pan-Arab nationalism.
Okay. I mean, once again, bro, this is literally just racism and he's too stupid to understand it. Ethan's trying to say that, oh, all of the Arabs kicked them out. This one formless monolith where it's just all of the Arabs suddenly became anti-Semitic around the time when Israel was created. But if you ever say the Jews or all Israelis are doing a Holocaust and they're all fascists and they're all trying to do it on Palestinians, Ethan would be like, that's so anti-Semitic of you. That's so anti-Israeli of you. It's not just the Jews. It's not all Israelis. It's a small faction of far-right Israeli extremists, religious fundamentalists, and Netanyahu's wing of the government. They're the genocidal ones. Actually, a lot of Israelis aren't evil. They're not racist, right? That's what he does when people criticize Israel. I mean, we can look that up with Sam Cedar, where he was adamant that it wasn't 80% of the Israeli population that supported genocide. And when people were like, oh, Israel's doing a genocide, and 30% of the Israeli population was like, yeah, that's about right. Ethan's like, no, that 30% actually means that Israel should stop doing the genocide. So he has so much water to carry for Israel. He has so much defense for the people of Israel. But when it comes to Arab Jews getting expelled by far-right governments that scapegoated them after the 1948 war, He says it was all of the Arabs. It was all Arabs in all of the Arab states that did the pogroms on Jewish people that made them leave to go to Israel. That's racism. That's a racist double standard. That's a double standard based off of perceived boundaries that we label as race. And so that's what racism is, when you have a double standard based off of a perceived boundary of race. That's like the textbook definition, and that is what Ethan Klein is doing. And I can't believe he's doubling down on it. Like, he's such a racist, delusional, self-absorbed, hug-boxed piece of shit that he can't take a moment to step back and examine what he was saying and why people were so pissed off about it. And so he doubles down on it because he thinks he's 100% in the right.
It's the Arab Peninsula. These are Arab countries. Nobody's got a problem if you're like, oh, the Europeans did this. The Chinese did this. What the fuck? Why? It's so obvious what I meant. And they know that. That's the thing, is they know that. But somehow they go, look at Ethan unhinged saying fucking Arabs. Like, here, actually, I have it. You guys
I have no problem with him at this same conversation erasing so many people's history.
Dude,
Just
you want
saying
to talk
that it
about
didn't
hate?
happen.
You want to talk about hate and racism? Telling a 900,000 Jews that were chased out of their homes, their possessions, their money, their businesses.
They left homes, they left
Stolen.
belongings. Why you really
Many were
think-
killed.
You really think they wanted to leave all that?
They left their communities of thousands of years, some of the most ancient communities
Yeah.
in the whole world. And he says the majority of them left because they were Zionists. They did not give a fuck about Israel or Zionism. They didn't care about Zionism. And once again, Avi Schleim, the guy that he keeps leaning on as proof for that, said that his family didn't leave because of Zionism. They left because they were afraid and they were being persecuted.
Oh, and it's also the same person arguing that he was calling those Jews inbred, but it's okay because they were doing something bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, even if they're doing something bad, it's kind of weird for you to call them inbred.
Yeah, it's
Not Jewish.
Let me show you guys what's here. This is, and by the way, I mean, if this is the only I have not seen anyone like factually contend with what I've said. It's only ever been like bad faith shit. Like
You're racist.
I'm on drugs. You know, it's funny. Before all this, everybody was somehow everybody knew that I was on Tourette's. That was like something I felt like everybody knew, and I never had to explain. And if somebody didn't understand it, there was always a comment like, "Oh, he's on Tourette's," and they'd be like, "Okay, that's fair." You know, I got to say, conservatives who've shit on me, it's been like, they'll make fun of me for ticking out, and then someone will say I have Tourette's, and they'll be like, "Oh, my bad," and they move on. These people say I'm on drugs, and they know that because every time they say it,
I mean, that's literally not true. Just last week, he played a clip of Asmongold, who's a conservative and a political commentator, being like, Ethan Klein shouldn't tick. I know he has Tourette's, but it's a bad look. He should stop it. What? Bro, just like the fact that he's trying to whitewash conservatives, which are racist, anti-Semitic, fascist pieces of shit. Ableist too. I mean, obviously ableist. And he's trying to whitewash them and be like, conservatives are nicer to me than leftists are. Bro, you just played a clip of Asmongold last week being like, Ethan Klein should hide his tics. You just like you've played clips of Keemstar being like, yeah, now that Ethan Klein's skinny, his takes make sense. When he was a fat piece of shit, he was an idiot. Like, bro, you played a clip of Hasan being like, I never made fun of his tics. Like, Hasan is like, yeah, Ethan is the one who made fun of Hasan's stuttering, and Hasan's like, bro, I never made fun of your tics. I don't know why you're making fun of my stuttering, and you're trying to run defense for conservatives now. It's so crazy. Like, this is why I think he actually is going to become a conservative. Kyle Kalinske said it. When you spend all of your time talking about the left and how radical the left is, and then you start sidling up to conservatives and you're like, wow, these conservatives are actually making a lot of sense. It's only a matter of time before you become a conservative. His audience is becoming more and more conservative every day. Every time he plays an Asmongold clip and he's like, Asmongold's actually a cool guy. Every time he snuggles up to Keemstar or Nicholas Diorio or Steiny, that gets more people in his audience. Every time he attacks Hasan or Sam Cedar or Emma Vigeland, that gets more conservatives in his audience being like, hey, this guy's attacking people that I don't agree with. Let me watch him. It's only a matter of time before he becomes a complete conservative. Like, right now, he's basically just a never Trump conservative Republican.
but they don't care.
I also really hate the implication that comes with it because it's so irresponsible to accuse a parent of that because, you know, you're a parent.
Of being on drugs?
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it's so obvious I'm not.
It's so irresponsible. Oh my God. You're a victim. All right. We concede you're a complete victim. Because your parent.
Bro, I sat there for 5 hours. Okay, I didn't. I do this shit. Dude, I'm obviously not on drugs. Anybody knows that. You know.
What is that supposed to mean? You sit there for your 5 hours online, like 3 times a week, and you didn't take drugs in those 5 hours, so that proves that you're not on drugs.
Yeah, I've never in my whole life had my condition be used against me in such a way where they're actually not only being like, oh, you're weird, right? They're trying to impugn my character, that somehow I'm immoral for having Tourette's syndrome. And these are the progressives. These are the tolerant people. Anyway, this is a post on
Okay, play a clip of someone making fun of your Tourette's then. Oh, no, you're not going to do that? You just said that so that before playing a clip of people calling you out for being racist against Arabs? All right, well, then play the clip of you being racist against Arabs. Shut the fuck up about that shit. But guys, consider signing up for memberships. It helps me out, helps my editors out. Only $1 a month, so it's really not a big deal. Your name can be green. That will be cool. And thanks for watching, everyone.